No DQ Galaxy. We are live with the NoDQ.com recap of Friday night. No, it is not Friday night. It is Monday Night Raw. I wish it was Friday night, but it is not Friday Night SmackDown. I have Friday night on the brain because they're saving a big reveal for Friday. It is Monday. I should know because my birthday is Tuesday, November 22nd, turning 40. I'm getting old, guys, so bear with me. I tend to struggle a little bit in my increasing old age, but nonetheless, I very much appreciate everybody. The early birds, shout outs to CC Drink, Hero Villain 5, Matt Helms, Ken Terminates DQ, Caleb Jacobs, Darren G, Dave Scheffler, David Estevez, Calvin Bowman, the This Guy Experience, and Darren G sent in a generous $9.99 super chat. Thank you for that, Darren. Says, hashtag early bird. What's up, everyone? Darren G has arrived. Aaron, thanks for all the coverage and content you provide for the No DQ Galaxy. Happy early birthday. Hope you have a great day tomorrow. And hashtag say yes to No DQ. I very much appreciate that, Darren G. Thank you for your longtime viewership. And I would like to thank everybody for continuing to support the channel. Today, 60,000 subscribers on YouTube. It took a while to get there, but it finally happened. Big milestone. I very much appreciate it. And let's keep it going. Keep spreading the word. Tell a friend. Anybody you know who watches wrestling, have them check out the video. Now, let's get to Monday Night Raw. We kicked off with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens talked about War Games, said that he joined the Sheamus team. I was going to say Drew McIntyre. He joined Sheamus's team for War Games, not because of Sami Zayn, but because of Roman Reigns. He still considers Sami Zayn to be like a brother, but Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens has unfinished business with the tribal chief. Owens brought up how 2 years ago he took Reigns to the limit 3 times, and because of the bloodline, he did not get the Universal title. He said he will take out the bloodline in War Games, so there will be nothing stopping him next time he gets his hands on Roman Reigns. He said that he did not come to Raw alone, and that led to the rest of the team coming down through the crowd like the Shield. You had Brawling Brutes along with Drew McIntyre. They all took turns on the mic, hyping up the match, and they said they're going to rip apart the bloodline, and that's when Judgment Day interrupted the festivities. And I find it funny that everybody is in their ring gear as if they have a match planned for later in the show. Rhea Ripley mentioned her match coming up at War Games and also talked about how Raw is the show that Judgment Day runs and the SmackDown guys better go back over there. And then Sheamus issued a challenge to the Judgment Day. And like I said, they all just conveniently happen to be wearing their wrestling gear for this challenge. Who would have thought? Well, I guess if you watch Raw long enough, you know that you're probably going to be in a match. So you better put your gear on. We had a match, of course, 6-man tag team match. One of these openings where a promo followed by a match. And if you have been following my streams for a while, you know that I'm not a big fan of these types of segments where you do a long promo, then you do a long match, and the first 30 to 40 minutes of the show involves the same group of people. I like variety. I like the show to move at a faster pace. It just feels like when you do this, it's done to fill time, and it just makes the show drag, in my opinion. So we had the 6-man match. Kevin Owens was on commentary. Back and forth match here. Crowd was chanting, "Who's your daddy?" at Dominic. Butch got choke slammed by Priest onto the apron, and then Dominic sent Sheamus into the ring post to prevent the tag. Eventually, Sheamus did get the tag. And do you notice in WWE tag team matches, it always seems to go the same way, where the heels beat down on the faces for a while, and then the guy waiting to get the tag, he gets knocked off the apron, but then, of course, he gets the hot tag later. It seems like this happens in just about every WWE tag team match, and it's getting kind of boring, in my opinion. So Sheamus, of course, got the tag, hit the bro kick, and pinned Dominic. Dominic takes the L here, and then Balor immediately attacked Sheamus. The OC came down to help out, and then KO gave Finn Balor a stunner for good measure, to send a little bit of a message for War Games. The This Guy Experience sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Says, happy birthday, man. How does it feel to be 40? Good night, guys. Well, good night, This Guy Experience. And I'm not 40 yet. I'm 39 for technically I was born 4:30 p.m. on a Monday or something like that. So I think I'm technically 39 till 4:30 p.m. tomorrow, but also technically midnight is the 22nd. So I'm going to say I'm 39 for at least another 50 minutes. I'll enjoy my 30s while I can, while I technically can at least. All right, so we had Johnny Gargano versus The Miz. And The Miz was not dressed for competition. Johnny Gargano came out there with, I guess, a new version of Rebel Heart. Think of when Christian got a different version of Close Your Eyes. It was a different singer and different rendition, but it was essentially the same song. The big negative here, how do I put this? It lacked energy. The new song just was missing that energy that the previous song had with the female singer. Not a fan of it. It just did not work for me. The Cleaver Colin Andrew with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Colin. I appreciate it. Says, happy birthday, my friend. Cheers to 60,000 subscribers. Again, very much appreciated. Thank you for that, Colin. And make sure you guys follow him at nodq.com/Colin. Oofman Entertainment sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Oofman. Says, happy early birthday. Welcome to the 40 Club. It ain't too bad. I appreciate that, Oofman. And Caleb Jacobs is already in the 40 Club, so I'll be joining him, Oofman, and a lot of you other guys watching this. It's a mix of ages. I get some people tuning in that are in their teens, but I also have people tuning in that are in their 40s and even in their 50s. Very much a variety of people. I'm not sure why Johnny Gargano's theme was changed, but bad decision. Not a fan of it. If it's for financial reasons, come on, guys. And Triple H, you would think that he would know better. But maybe this was Nick Khan saying, we got to do this. And Triple H was like, whatever. Maybe Johnny Gargano said, sure, fine. I'm cool with it. But yeah, did not work for me. So anyways, Miz not dressed to compete. And he had a new opponent for Johnny Gargano, who turned out to be Omos with MVP. Miz was on commentary, and basically Johnny Gargano got his ass kicked. He tried to do a dive over the top. Omos caught him, slammed him on the apron, and Gargano started to make a little bit of a comeback, but then Miz got on the apron, distracted Gargano. Gargano somehow stayed in it, and he hit several super kicks, but then he went up to the top, jumped off. Omos caught him, and then Omos hit a choke slam. and got the 1-2-3 victory. Darren, I think Omos does have a new outfit, but yeah, I feel bad for Gargano. New music kind of bombed, and then he loses to Omos, which, I mean, realistically, Gargano would not stand a chance against Omos, but it just kind of sucks for Gargano to be basically squashed here. Dwayne Atkinson with a very generous $20 super chat. Much appreciated, Dwayne. Says, happy early birthday to my great wrestling buddy. You look pretty good for someone who's about to be the big 4-0. LOL, and congrats on the 60,000 subscribers. Oh, and I almost forgot, welcome to the old farts club. Well, yes, that is definitely the case. Getting up there, I, for a moment, thought that it was Friday instead of Monday. And yeah, those things happen. The older you get, you lose your mind a little bit. It happens, and I notice it. Not quite as sharp as I used to be. I'm only as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was. Now, let's move on here, and thank you again, Dwayne. We had Seth Rollins via satellite with his hair color and his wacky, colorful outfit, talking about his match for Survivor Series. They added a triple threat match, of course, after we do our predictions video, but that's on us for not waiting until after the go-home show. So last minute addition to the premium live event, Seth freaking Rollins will defend his championship against Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley in a triple threat. Interesting. So Rollins was interviewed via satellite, and he said he asked for the match. He has a bone to pick with both of them. He said it's not a good idea to pick a fight with him. Just ask Cody Rhodes. Little Cody reference there. And he said that he's not in the War Games match, but it will be a war this Saturday. By the way, Ken, Giant Gonzalez has unfortunately been dead for a very long time. Not sure if you knew that or not. As far as this match goes, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction after I talk about the match with Lashley. We'll get to that here in just a moment. So I will give my thoughts on that match as well as a prediction. Walter sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Walter. Says, happy B-Day, boss. Like, share this video. Hashtag stick to my shtick. Visit nodq.com/merch. Get the hands on the No DQ merchandise and feel merchy. And congratulations on 60,000 subscribers. Yes, you guys can pick up the Walter Cruz t-shirt. There's a quick plug for it. There is the t-shirt design. You can get that over at nodq.com/merch. Now, we had Austin Theory cutting a backstage promo. He said nobody understands him. He hit rock bottom, but it was actually the best thing to happen to him. And he said that he is a new man and he will now be taken serious. We then had Mustafa Ali versus Austin Theory in a match. And Ali's ribs were still taped up. Ali got in some offense, but then he went for the 450. He hit it. However, his ribs were hurting him. He could not make the cover. Theory was able to slip to the outside, and then Theory gained the upper hand, hit the A-Town down, and picked up the victory. Ali's losing streak continues. Sucks for him, but Theory needs the win, I guess, more than Ali at this point, because I don't think Ali winning will do much for him. And Theory, like, they're still trying to make something out of him. And then Bobby Lashley appeared on the Titantron and said if Theory is in fact wanting to be taken serious now, then Lashley wants to fight and not wait until the pay-per-view or premium live event. And Lashley came down to the ring. We had a commercial break, and then afterwards, Lashley made his entrance. Now, before we get to that, Hamp Connell sent in a very generous $20 super chat. I very much appreciate that. Hamp says, today in history, 1982. Well, remember, it's still November 21st, so you're a little off here, but very close. A child named Aaron Rift is born. After being scared of Ox Baker, he would be introduced into pro wrestling and would create No DQ, which now has 60,000 subscribers. Happy birthday. I very much appreciate that, Hamp. And I salute you for remembering that story about Ox Baker. If you guys never heard the story, Ox Baker was a wrestler in the 60s and 70s. I think mostly 70s is when he competed. He had a very scary look to him. Bald head, big bushy mustache, and my dad had a poster of him in our apartment. And when I was like 1 year old, I saw this picture from my crib and I was just terrified. And it's actually my earliest memory, being terrified of Ox Baker. I remember we moved and my dad put the picture in the closet and I stumbled in the closet, saw the picture, and freaked out. At that point, my mom said, picture's going in the trash. And that was the end of the picture. It was thrown out at that point. So that's my earliest wrestling memory. Now, let's get back to Monday Night Raw. I think I have a picture of the picture, but I'll have to see if I can find it on my computer. If I can, I will upload it to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Okay, so Lashley came down to the ring and he was impressed or surprised that Theory did not run away. Theory was ready to fight, and that's what they did. They had a fight here. They were brawling, and then Theory grabbed a steel chair. He used the steel chair on Lashley, but Lashley more or less no-sold it. He went after Theory. Theory decided to run away at this point. He ran to the back and he grabbed Ali at the gorilla position and threw Ali into Lashley. So Lashley beat the crap out of Ali. Ali gets beat down even more. And Ali is put in the hurt lock, and Lashley gets his aggression out. He's able to vent his frustrations on poor Ali. Now, prediction for this event. I am going to have to say that Rollins retains. Like, I think they've been doing too many title changes. I think by hook or by crook, Rollins retains, and maybe Theory takes the fall. I mean, Theory really should not be losing. Lashley shouldn't be losing either. So this is a tough one. I mean, Rollins, I guess, could lose the title, but none of these guys need to be losing at this stage of the game. Not sure how I would book this one, but I guess I lean towards Rollins retaining just to not have another title change. I think we've seen one too many of them. And Fizzy Fuzz sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, Ox got over that day. Cheers to 60K. I appreciate that very much. Thank you guys for your early birthday comments and the comments about the subscriptions. And, oh, by the way, Michael Wayne pointed it out. No DQ has a new account on Hive, which is a Twitter alternative. I don't know if it's going to amount to anything, but I decided, what the hell, I will make myself an account on Hive for No DQ. It is up there. You guys can check it out. It's just No DQ, DOTCOM, much like everything else. And now I suppose we will get back to Monday Night Raw. You know what? Actually, is this the photo? There it is. There is the photo. You guys can see Ox Baker right there, upper right portion of the picture. And I'm not sure if this was before or after I saw the picture. I mean, I look like I'm okay in that photo. I don't look too unhappy, and my mom is there with me, so I was probably okay as long as I did not look over at the picture. But yeah, I do remember looking at it and being terrified. There you go. There's the picture, the proof that Ox Baker picture existed. And Oofman Entertainment sent in $2. Thank you for that. Oof says, clearly this is leading to Ali versus Lashley. Yes. You would think that, but I thought we were going to see Ali versus Seth Rollins, and that never happened. Now, if they added Ali and made it a fatal four-way match, then it would be an easy booking decision. Ali would be the one to take the fall. Hamp Connell sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp. I appreciate it. Hamp says, today in history, 2005, WWE implements the wellness policy after the death of Eddie Guerrero. The only wrestler to be immune was Randy Orton. I thought Randy Orton was suspended. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I seem to remember he did get suspended. Anyways, yeah, that was a period where WWE was really trying to clean things up. And then I think like after the death of Chris Benoit, it really got serious. And credit to WWE. I mean, we have definitely seen a decline in wrestlers dying young over the past decade or so. I will say the wellness policy, it has been effective. You have definitely seen people living longer since the policy was implemented. Next up, we had the Alpha Academy versus Elias and Matt Riddle. Elias and Matt Riddle were working together. They were doing a good job as a team. Went back and forth here. Gable gave Riddle a German suplex on the apron, and that gave the Academy the upper hand for a while. Gable hit this bulldog on Riddle. Riddle was on the shoulders of Otis, but Riddle kicked out of it. And then Elias got the hot tag. And then Gable hit the flying headbutt, but Riddle broke up the pin. And then Riddle started to build up some momentum, hit the floating bro, and made the cover. 1, 2, 3. Elias prevented Otis from getting back in the ring. So Elias and Matt Riddle pick up their win. Looks like they're going to have a new team now. You know, Elias plays guitar. Riddle likes to hit his bong. And they got a new team in WWE right now. We'll see how far it goes. Not sure it's going to have the impact of RK Bro, but we'll see. We had Baron Corbin and JBL playing poker again in the backstage area. They were insulting the city of Albany, New York, where Monday Night Raw was taking place. And that's when Drew McIntyre confronted them, and that set up a match between Corbin and McIntyre. That's a match I was really wanting to see, right? Of all the matches that we could see a rematch from WrestleMania, man, that was at the top of the list, right? We had a War Games video package, which might have been the most effective segment on this show as far as getting me hyped up for the event on Saturday. Hamp Connell with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Hamp Connell, Camp. Today in 1988, Ted Turner takes over Jim Crockett Promotions and renamed it World Championship Wrestling to take on Vince McMahon. McMahon would win, in case you guys didn't know. I appreciate that very much, Hamp. Thank you for the super chats. And hard to believe that Ted Turner would take over and somehow WCW would die with all that money financing the organization. Just goes to show that nothing's a guarantee. So we had Drew McIntyre versus Baron Corbin in the WrestleMania rematch we've all been waiting for. And Corbin was stalling on the outside. And McIntyre got distracted by JBL, which I'm just rolling my eyes. I mean, Drew McIntyre is a veteran. How is he getting distracted? I'm sorry, but I do not buy it that he would get distracted so easily by JBL. He's a seasoned veteran. So yeah, Corbin got the upper hand for a while, sent McIntyre into the post, but then McIntyre started to make a comeback, hit a Michinoku driver, hit a Glasgow kiss, but then Corbin caught him with a clothesline. Both guys were down. And then after the commercial break, Corbin hit a superplex. McIntyre hit the future shock, missed the Claymore though. And then they were both on the outside of the ring again. Corbin got suplexed into the barricade and then sent back into the ring. But then JBL got on the apron. McIntyre distracted again. And Corbin hit the deep six and got the 1-2-3 victory. No, I'm lying. Deep six did not get the win. The deep six is basically the Blue Thunder Bomb from Sami Zayn. It never, at least to my knowledge, from what I remember, never gets the job done. You have to be bottom of the barrel enhancement talent to lose to the deep six or the Blue Thunder Bomb. Just doesn't happen. Anyways, Tozawa showed up very randomly. Was he involved with Corbin last week? I already forgot, but maybe he was. Maybe it wasn't so random. Tozawa, who's now back to his old look, he's got the blonde hair and he's got the traditional ring attire. He jumped on JBL, took JBL's hat, and Drew McIntyre picked up the win with the Claymore. Match was pretty boring, to be honest. I mean, I had no desire to see Corbin and McIntyre. Corbin's a good wrestler. Crowd was chanting, "You can't wrestle," but I think that's because they just don't give a shit about Corbin, bottom line. What did Corbin do last week? I'm not even sure. Somebody help me out here. And Dr. Dakota Scorpio sent in a Canadian $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Scorpio. I appreciate it. Says, happy 40th from a fellow November birthday guy. That Corbin match made me tune out. I think Corbin is underrated, but sometimes his matches are boring. It's the character. Like, he's a good wrestler, but the character, more times than not, is a TV changer. Bottom line. The most interesting Corbin was, I think, back in the beginning with the Lone Wolf, and then brief period when he was broke Corbin, bum-ass Corbin. That was fun, and then he got boring again. I don't even think the AEW fans would like Corbin if he went there. We had the OC interviewed, AJ Styles, Anderson, Gallows, and she's, I guess, no longer Mia Yim, although they did call her Mia Yim, but her WWE.com profile says Michin. That's her name. And they did call her Michin on Raw, but they also called her Mia Yim. Why are they changing her name? This is totally unnecessary. Mia Yim was fine. Michin. I guess it means crazy in Korean, but I'm not a fan of the name change. I don't think it's necessary. She was already retribution or retaliation or whatever she was. And now you're changing her name again. You're just going to confuse the fans and make them care even less. And reminds me of Jeff Meacham. We have Meacham and Meechin. Maybe we'll call Jeff Meechin from now on. Walter Cruz sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Walter. Says, man, you really are 40. Corbin and Tozawa were in the stupid poker game segment. Then they wrestled. We all getting old. Yeah, I thought Tozawa was in the segment last week. But yeah, I honestly don't even remember what the main event was of Raw last week. I think it was something with Seth Rollins, but I don't remember. I legitimately do not remember what happened on Raw last week. And that's a problem. I mean, I know I'm getting old and all, but these shows should be a little bit more memorable. I should be able to remember at least one significant thing that happened last week. We had a fight breakout, by the way. The OC were interviewed about the match on Saturday. AJ Styles and Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, Finn Balor, the whole crew showed up. Finn Balor called himself the devil, which might be a trademark infringement on MJF. And yeah, big brawl, referees, the whole 9 yards. Then we had Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss come into the ring for a promo. And Bianca talked about their history with Bayley, said that she cannot wait until they find out who the 5th member is. They're making the decision, by the way, on SmackDown, which to me is an odd choice. SmackDown. Why not just wait till the show? If you're not going to announce it on Raw, then let it be a surprise for Saturday. So they're announcing it on SmackDown, which is an odd choice, in my opinion. And now people are wondering, is it going to be Raquel or Liv Morgan? I hope not. But at this point, I guess anything's possible. And it affects our predictions because now we have to wait until the last minute, which in a way now it didn't really matter that we did our predictions on Sunday. By the way, there was a comment in the chat. We did the predictions already. Sunday night, it's up on demand on the channel. So I still don't know who I'm going with. I mean, I'm going with Bianca if the mystery person is Becky Lynch or Beth Phoenix or Sasha Banks. And I don't think it's Sasha. Becky Lynch could be her. We'll see. D. Martin 5th sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Says, happy 40th birthday. I'm 45 years old. What if the 5th member is revealed to be not Becky or Sasha, but Charlotte? I think people will be disappointed with that. If it's Charlotte, I could see there being some backlash. Like, I think they should have just announced that on Raw if it was going to be Charlotte. The fact that they're waiting now, it's got to be somebody that fans will be very happy with. Otherwise, why would you do this? Like, if it's going to be Charlotte, just announce it right away. Don't even delay with it. I don't think it's going to be Liv. It has to be. I'm going to say it's most likely either Becky Lynch or Beth Phoenix. Sasha Banks, I think people would be happy with, but I'm still not convinced that she's coming back anytime soon. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, the outcome might depend on who the 5th member is. Oh, absolutely. Again, if it's Becky or Beth Phoenix or Sasha, I would definitely pick Bianca's team to win. But otherwise, I would go with Bayley's team. Even if it's Charlotte. I mean, I suppose if it's Charlotte, I might still go with Bianca. But Charlotte as a face, I agree with Walter. Doesn't really work for me. And if anything, I think they'll build up Charlotte towards a match with Bianca. So, yeah, don't think it's going to be Charlotte. So, crowd was not happy about the SmackDown announcement that it's going to be on SmackDown instead of Raw. Bayley's team showed up, and Bayley said maybe Bianca is stalling or can't find somebody that likes her. Bayley said that her teammates only like Bianca because they want to get a Raw Women's Championship match. We then had our main event, for the War Games advantage, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley, which to me, predictable in the sense that it only makes sense for the heels to have the advantage. Now, they could swerve you, but, logic would tell you that the heels get the upper hand in War Games, the psychological advantage, because the heels will always have that extra advantage throughout the entire match. So from a psychological standpoint, that the faces are against the odds. Everybody went to the backstage area. We're watching properly on the monitors, but we all know how this goes. We know damn well they're not going to stay back there. And match was all right. I mean, lack of crowd heat. Crowd was okay this week, but not great. And yeah, just didn't feel like there was much energy in the building for this. It was very back and forth. Ripley dominated for a while, and then Asuka put on the ankle lock, but Ripley powered out of it. And Asuka started to make a comeback. Damage Control showed up, of course. Then Bianca's team showed up, and surprisingly, no shenanigans for the finish. Rhea Ripley won clean. She beat Asuka with the Riptide, and then after that is when the big fight broke out. Everybody was brawling. Everybody ended up being laid out, and then we had a final little video hyping up the premium live event of the final graphics and all that stuff. And it just didn't feel that exciting to me. Like overall, I thought Raw was pretty boring. Like to me, it was a very skippable show, and I'm not any more excited for War Games. I am excited for War Games, but not any more excited than I was last week or yesterday even. This was the same issue with AEW going into Full Gear. Like I thought the show was fine, but just lacked some sizzle. And I'm not a fan of the segments that drag out, promo turns into a match type of thing. So I'm going with a C+. Not a very good Raw, in my opinion. Pretty boring is the best way I can describe it. But yeah, the pay-per-view should be awesome. I'm not worried at all about the quality of the show on Saturday. Should still be banger after banger, as Sheamus would say. And yeah, I mean, I guess some might say the honeymoon phase is over, but like with Triple H, some things are going to be better, but they still have the problem of the 3-hour shows. Something I think they need to work on. Up to this point, they really haven't done much to really try to change the structure of the show. It definitely needs a shakeup. And the commentary is not great either. Like I know it's fair to give people a chance, but Kevin Patrick ain't cutting it for me. Corey Graves is fine, but Patrick is bringing it down, in my opinion. Like I'm glad it's a 2-man team and not a 3-man team, but I don't think Kevin Patrick is great in his spot. Just very average. And we need better than average for the play-by-play guy. When we've had Jim Ross and Mauro Ranallo and Gorilla Monsoon and even Vince McMahon back in the day, and Pat McAfee on color, like we need something better. Because if you had somebody better, it would make up for the lackluster writing. Because the play-by-play guy can make the show come off as more exciting than it really is. And that was a skill that JR had, Mauro Ranallo, and several others. Yeah, C+ for the show. And that's it for Raw. Thank you guys so much. Final live stream of my 30s. And we'll start a new era coming up soon. Taking Tuesday off, but I will be back Wednesday night, 40 years old, to cover AEW Dynamite, the post Full Gear show. It will be interesting to see how Chicago reacts to the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Newark, they love the guys. They chanted FCM Punk, but will it be a similar reaction this Wednesday? That's what I'm wondering. Will this crowd in Chicago cheer the Elite, or will the Elite get booed? What do you guys think? Leave a comment on YouTube. Go on the stream page and leave a comment. Let me know. Will the Elite be booed or cheered in Chicago on Wednesday? And we'll see what happens. Thank you guys again for tuning in and supporting No DQ. I will see you all next time for Dynamite. And remember to say yes to NoDQ.com. Have a great night, everyone. And remember, head over to whatever that new social media page is. I already forgot what it's called. What is it called now? I got to find it. Oh, Hive. Go over to Hive, download the app, and follow NoDQ.com. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you next time.